With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the ASMR Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series fires things off right here from Richmond Raceway. Gonna be 130 laps around this short track here tonight. Who's gonna take the crown at the first short track race of the season? We're gonna find out in just a little while, but first, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you can all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, drivers already laying down those fast times in qualifying, and we're gonna dive right into it. Track temperature 105 degrees, nice. 82 degrees with a 10-mile-an-hour breeze across the track. We should see these drivers handle very well through 1 and 2. Gonna be a little bit of a challenge in 3 and 4 with that crosswind, but nonetheless, top of the speed charts with the quick time here in qualifying behind the wheel of that number 27 machine. We've seen him at the top of the speed charts, and he is back once again. Clark Jenikin gonna lay down the fast time in the David Spears Design Bowl Award. Belongs to him for the moment. Michael Overstreet, a quick second time lap, and Doug Argabright gonna go top of the speed charts, 22:43. Now the fast time for Argabright. Only about, it looks to be about 3 drivers left in qualifying to lay down a fast time. Jay Guinness, your pole sitter for our opening 2 weeks, not going to make it a three-peat here tonight. From Richmond, we will have a new control car to the drop of the green flag here tonight. For the moment, Doug Argabright sitting in control of that David Spears Design Pole Award. Alex Wiggins out on track, looks to be making just a mock little run here. He's going to be heading right back down pit road, so with just about 60 seconds remaining here in qualifying, it appears that our 19 positions are already going to be laid out for us. Argabright will take the pole position here tonight. It's all but sewed up. Only 60 seconds remaining, and Wiggins is not going to be able to lay down the times needed in time to dethrone the man at the top of the speed charts. Quick time here in qualifying, 22:43 for Doug Argabright. On another note, before we head to a quick commercial break and trackside for the national anthem and your starting lineup, on another note, walking into tonight's race, the man that has been on a tear, walking away with back-to-back trips to victory lane in our opening 2 races of the season, Christian Abati will start outside the top 5. Abati gonna slot in that 7th starting position for tonight's Richmond Roundup, right here from Richmond Raceway. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
So proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
And we bring you back trackside here at Richmond Raceway for tonight's Richmond Roundup, brought to you by the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. I want to give a big shout out to each and every one of the sponsors on board this season. Hauck Designs coming on, sponsoring, title sponsor of the series, sponsoring each and every race of this year. David Spears Designs back on board. Big shout out to Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet, as well as Beef Jerky Unlimited. Final few drivers making their way to their starting positions. Looks like maybe one or two stragglers coming through pre-race inspection as we speak. So what do you say we jump a little closer to the track as drivers get ready for some action here tonight for the first time this season behind the wheel of that 41 machine? Doug Argabright's going to lead us to the green flag. Big shout out to our friends and in the stands and behind the pace car here tonight. Handful of friends helping us out with these overhead camera shots we'll get to in the drone a little bit later tonight. But as you can hear, the loudspeakers in the background, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Richmond Roundup. Starting inside row number 1 behind the Haas Automation's Monster Energy number 41 machine, Doug Argabright. Clark Jenikin going to start just to his outside with Michael Overstreet. Eric Moore back in row number 2. Row number 3 here tonight from Richmond, Jay Guinness and Nicholas Wing. Christian Abati and Cody Schultz making up row number 4. Inside row number 5, starting in the 9th position, the 88 of Nick Burlow, followed by that 7 of Ed Hauck. Inside row number 6, the Lieutenant Carlos Ramos going to be behind the wheel of that 97 machine. Andrew Alt will start in 12. Row number 7, the 4 of Daniel Jensen in the 91 of Patrick Coro. Josiah Strauss, Andrew McConville back in row number 8. Row number 9 tonight, the 38 of Zach Miller, followed by the 11 of Alex Wiggins. The 89 of Jeffrey Engel will bring up the rear of the field. That's going to be all 19 drivers. And as we reach turn 3, PA speaker's going to go quiet, and we will hear these engines sing for the first time here tonight from Richmond Raceway. On the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies. Loose on the bottom of the racetrack is your pole sitter, Argabright. Going to have a big moment. Almost go around now. Outside of the top 5, fighting to keep it inside of the top 10. Close corners racing with, I believe that's the 5 of Cody Schultz to the outside. Yes, it is the ADS sponsored number 5 of Schultz. Hanging on to a top 10 position. Clark Janikin to get a take over the race lead, but it may be short-lived. The 16 of Derek Moore looking to his high side. A little bit of Greg Biffle look on the side of that thing. Really digging that paint scheme. How about the run down by the 25 of Jay Guinness? We've seen that Navy machine out front multiple times this season. We've seen him be the only driver to get to victory lane and really be able to do it once again here tonight as we complete lap number 4. Let's drop the timing and scoring Over there to the left-hand side of your screen, you can follow along and find your favorite driver just like we do here in the production booth. Side-by-side racing action now for that second position, and caution flies on the racetrack. First caution of the night, trouble near the rear of the field. Back in the back, Daniel Jensen, Carlos Ramos going to get together. Let's go check the replay. And everything looks good until it isn't. Trouble in front. The 97 and the 41 going to come together. Doug Argabright involved in this one. You seen him loose earlier. Whoa, and there it is. The 41 into the back of Ramos and into the outside wall. He goes. The 4 of Jensen going to pick up a little bit of front end damage, but there it is. These cars, contact from the rear. That's where it all goes wrong. You can really jack another driver up. Literally pick the rear tires up off the track. Seen a little bit of it right there, so we'll head back out front with race leader. New race leader here from Richmond Raceway, Derek Moore, going to take the top spot. Argabright, Schultz, Ramos, Burlow, Jensen, and McConville all to pit lane. So here we go, race fans. First short track race of season number 8 here with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. First short track of the season. How will the drivers deal with patience, aggravation, frustration? All things that we're going to keep our eyes on here. Short track racing is, well, short track racing, right? It can bring issues that aren't really there to the forefront. You can have all sorts of stuff. Do we have to say anything more than Matt Kenseth? Just saying, it can happen. Hopefully we don't see that here tonight from Richmond Raceway. I don't think we will. Very disciplined, talented drivers here in the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. Look forward to seeing some long green flag runs. We've seen the long green flag runs in the opening 2 weeks of the season. I think we're going to see that once again as the boss man in the flag stand gives him the one finger wave. We've got one more lap to go. A little bit of a connection problem. Now you see him, now you don't. Magic Man on the track. Jake Ennis going to disappear for a moment. He's going to head to the front and get his position back as Derek Moore gets ready to bring the field to the green flag for the first time here tonight at Richmond. Third race leader of the evening. We're working lap number 9, 10 when we drop the hammer and away we go. Green flag flies. Once again here from Richmond. Well, way up against that outside wall, scraping through the corner. Jake Ennis with some issues. Whoa, close. Oh, boy. Did you see? I believe that's going to be Michael Overstreet. Yes, it is Michael Overstreet. All but turned around. Last time around, big trouble there as Jake Ennis seems to be struggling with some connection issues, and such can be the case when you are in the virtual racing world. Sometimes connections, internet spikes, things of that nature can affect what's going on the track, but for the moment, nothing affecting your race leader, Derek Moore, out to almost a 1 second advantage over the 27 of Clark Jenigan. Christian Abante back there in third. Michael Overstreet runs fourth. Nicholas Wing gonna round out your top 5. Back through the field, battle and gaggle of cars right here. Wing, Hauck, Strauss, Schultz, all 4. Throw a blanket over. You're looking at from about 5th place all the way back to 11th, 12th on the racetrack. So hot and heavy battles going on here, mid-pack and back. Derek Moore continues to show the way with Clark Janikin behind him. Christian Abate slotted in a comfortable third position. Michael Overstreet, Nicholas Wing, and Help all going at it for positions here. You see that 14, Josiah Strauss trying to make it work in the Jack Daniels machine, not quite able to do away with Hauck just yet. Side-by-side attitude, a little loose on the bottom of the racetrack. The Monte Carlo SS Chevy of Strauss. A little loose on corner exit. He'll corral the car, keep it headed in the right direction as drivers continue the green flag run. Lap number 17 this time around. Gaps at the front have went away. Let's go back up here to the battle between your top three. Clark Janikin able to run down Derek Moore at the front, and that's just going to bring Christian Abate right along as we head across the start-finish line. Down into 1 and 2 we roll. Drivers jockeying for positions at the front. The race lead up for grabs off of turn number 2 drag race down to turn 3. Out of the corner exit, how are they going to shake out? And across the line, Derek Moore going to regain or retain the race lead for the moment. The Peak Performance Motorsports number 27 machine of Janikin digging on the bottom, trying to get back to that top spot. Reclaims the race lead through the center of the corner, but it's at the line that matters. Big run on the high side now for the 16 and Moore will be accredited with yet another lap led here tonight. Christian Abate just kind of hanging out in the back behind this, watching it all go down. As we're going to go on board now, let's take a look inside this 16 machine. Derek Moore putting in work behind the wheel. I don't know about you, but I think I'd trade my office for Moore's office any day of the week. Just saying. Love my job. Love my bosses. Love what I do. But, if my office could be a race car, I'd much rather be in that office. "22 laps into tonight's Richmond roundup for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series. Tire wear should slowly start to become a factor. We should start seeing these tires begin to show a little bit of wear. The majority of the field here tonight has not made a pit stop. Cody Schultz, Doug Argabright, Nick Burlow, Carlos Ramos came to pit road under our first caution. They remain deep in the field, mired back in traffic. Cody Schultz sitting in the 8th position. He's the highest running driver that came to pit road. So how abusive are these drivers being on that right front, on that right rear? That's going to be really critical. Running the high line right there, that you see the 16 doing. Gets to save the tire a little bit. Again, it gets to save the tire a little bit. How hard are you pushing? How hard is he trying to keep that machine out front and keep Janikin behind? It's all going to come into play, all going to come into factor. Check out the 45. We're going to go on board. Let's see if we can't ride. Do we have that cockpit view? All right, let's go on board now with the 45 of Christian Abate. We're going to take a listen to just how hard he is driving behind these drivers. Nice little feather into the gas out of 4 across the line. Long roll into turn 1. And as we watch and listen to Christian Abate, your only race winner so far this season, get around this 3/4 of a mile track nestled in Richmond, Virginia. I'm starting to see something here. And it's a pretty interesting line, right? It's a pretty interesting approach. Um, the closer, Happy Harvick. You know the success that Kevin Harvick has had here at Richmond, as well as the likes of Denny Hamlin. And I'm seeing a lot of similarities right now with that 45. He's had at the gas a little bit sooner than what you would expect. Really rolling that corner entry in center, getting a good forward bite up out of the corner. And I don't think he's abusing the tires one bit. I think it's a nice, easy run on the tires right now for that 45. We'll see how this run continues out as we work our way down the back stretch on lap number 30. Let's jump around the field just a little bit. Let's bring you some more of the action on the track. Josiah Strauss, Cody Schultz going at it, 8th and 9th on the racetrack. Right, whoa, there it is, up the track. The 5 drifts up the track just a little bit. That's going to open up the door for the 29 machine of Andrew Walt. Alt going to take that Pepsi Burger King sponsor number 29. Inside of a top 10 position, he's going to get by both Strauss and Cody Schultz. Carlos Ramos trying to make his way up through the field in that 97 machine. How about the Bass Pro Shops number 88 of Nick Burlow? Burlow trying to regain positions lost in the early stages of tonight's race. He's got that tracker off-road. Bass Pro Shops machine moving back in the right direction. Moving in the wrong direction here tonight. 25 of Jake Innes. Dominating car over the past 2 weeks, especially when it comes to qualifying. He's had solid finishes as well, if my memory serves us correct here. Walked away second in last week's race from Auto Club. Walked away third in the season opener at the Brickyard. So Innes having a great opening start to this season. But tonight may be the night that comes to bite that 25. Patrick Coro in a great-looking Pizza Hut machine. Let's give this paint job a little bit of credit here tonight. Amazing wrap on this Gen 4 machine. I believe this is one of the paints provided by Hauck Designs. If you're in the market or in the need for a new paint job on one of your race cars, maybe you need a driver's suit, maybe you need a new helmet, you can check them out at Hauck Designs. They do it all. If you need it, they've got it, or they can make it. That's Hauck Designs. So as the battle continues to rage here towards the mid-pack, we're going to head back up to that battle for the race lead. Still side by side, heating things up. The 16 and the 27 continue this battle for the race lead of the 45. Again, just kind of sitting in the catbird seat, right? Christian Abbasi sitting right here just, you know, guys, have fun, wear each other out, wear them tires out. I'm going to be here to pick up the pieces. And Abbasi just, again, seems like I don't want to call it an easy Sunday drive, but a comfortable drive at this point in time. 3.8 second advantage over fourth place runner Michael Overstreet. So Abbasi definitely in a very, very comfortable position. What may be uncomfortable is what's upcoming for these race leaders coming into some lap traffic. There you can see bottom of the racetrack, the 10 of Andrew McConville. A little bit off pace here tonight. McConville going to keep it at the bottom of the racetrack, but that's going to stop the fight for a moment from Janigan. He's going to have to go to the high side, lose about a car length or two. So that's going to mix up the battle at the front of this field as we cross the line this time around. Lap number 41 goes on the board. Less than 25 laps away from seeing the cross sticks here tonight, just around the corner from the halfway point. And I know what you might be saying, well, Dave, that's 25 laps away. I mean, that's a long time, but if you look at how fast these drivers are clicking off these green flag laps, that halfway point gonna be upon us in a matter of no time. Big question, though, that we're gonna begin to eyeball and look at is the fuel strategy, right? Can these drivers make it to at least lap 68? They're going to have to go a little bit further than the halfway point. We did have some caution laps to open things up here tonight. On lap number 4, we've seen the first and only caution flag fly. That's allowed these drivers to save a little bit of fuel, taking off a few little laps. So they're going to have to run it a little bit longer than the halfway point to make it on a one-stopper. Do they have enough fuel? It's still in the tank. So as things seem to have calmed down just a little bit inside of your top 3, let's go back right around that top 10 position. Carlos Ramos showing the way. Andrew Alt right there behind him in 9th. 10th place belongs to Josiah Strauss. That Jack Daniels 14 machine. 88 of Nick Burlow and Patrick Coro right along, holding on to the tail end of this pack of drivers. Small battle between Doug Argerbright and Nicholas Wing. 5th and 6th on the racetrack. Cody Schultz going to go by Jake Ennis for the 13th position. Drivers through 1 2 down the backstretch. There goes your race leaders. Here comes the pack of drivers eyeballing turn number 3. But again, an amazing run, an amazing night here tonight. Over 40 laps of green flag action this time around. An amazing night, an amazing run so far here tonight from Richmond. The Lieutenant Carlos Ramos gonna run inside of the top 10, up 3 positions from where he qualified. So a good solid night. Behind the wheel of that 97, Ramos runs in 8th. Coro and Strauss going at it now for position. Patrick Coro looking to take a spot away from that 14 machine. The 88 opened the door, and the 91 followed right along, leaving that inside lane open just a little bit. On entry to turn number 3 is Coro. However, Josiah right behind him, unable to do anything with the opportunity as we cross the line this time by. 50 laps gonna be behind us. We are just moments away from the halfway point, and I would expect to see green flag pit stops not too far behind. We're going to stay right here with this battle between Burlow, Coro, Strauss, all running within a handful of tenths of each other. Jake Ennis trying to recover after some pretty significant contact with the outside wall and a drop all the way outside of your top 15. A solid recovery, but still needing to pick up a handful of positions. Jake Ennis going to sit in 13th. And it looks like we've got our first green flag pit stop. Nick Burlow going to pull the trigger early. He's going to bring that 88 machine to the attention of the pit crew down on pit lane. Race leader's going to stay out on the track for the time being. Derek Moore continues to show the way. The Art Smarts 16 machine. Just showing the way. Derek Moore so far leading the most laps here tonight behind the wheel of his Ford Fusion, keeping the hungry Chevy at bay. Christian Abate just kind of hanging out in third once again. And interesting enough, these top three drivers, although they've been battling with one another, they have been able to continuously build on the gap behind them. Doug, I apologize, Michael Overstreet now sitting over 4.5 seconds back. Doug Argabright right there battling for that fourth position. They're trying to force Overstreet back to fifth. Nicholas Swing still sitting in sixth, holding serve for the time being. Ed Hauck back in seventh. Carlos Ramos, Andrew Alt, and Patrick Coro round out your top 10. Jake Ennis going to make his way down to pit road this last time around. Excuse us. As no signs of stopping, it doesn't look like Derek Moore has even eyeballed that pit road entry just yet. Looks like these crews at the front, and these drivers eyeballing that one-stop strategy here tonight from Richmond, and I'm not sure. We did some rudimentary math a handful of laps ago, and we predict that if they can get to about lap 68, they will be safely into that one-stop window. I just don't know if they can get there. And how could it be our newest driver to pit lane, the number 7 machine, going to come down, get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and fuel? We'll watch the timing and scoring, see how he cycles himself out. 38 of Zach Miller going to be enlisted in the lucky dog position, sitting in the 12th spot here tonight as the round of green flag pit stops has begun. Miller yet to make his green flag stop, but Alex Wiggins in the 11. He came to pit road back on lap number 43. Almost 10 laps prior to Nick Burlow, and that has translated itself into almost a 4-second advantage. So the short pit seems to be the way to go, but how long will the race leaders stay out? How much time are they going to give up? But how much time are they going to gain with the fresher tires? A long way to go, find out. A long way till we see the checkered flag fly here tonight from Richmond Raceway. We want to thank each and every one of you fans in TV land for joining us here tonight, whether you're over there on Twitch, Facebook, or right here on the home of the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. That's right, the Turn 3 Racing Network on YouTube. We want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you for tuning in, joining us week after week, race after race, night after night, trying to provide you with some of the best racing action right here on the world's #1 racing simulator, iRacing.com. We asked for help to push to that 3,000 subscriber mark. You, the fans, heard the ask, heard the plea, the cry, and you have gotten us there. Without you, there would be no us. So we want to make sure that each and every one of you fans watching tonight knows that we appreciate and thank you for everything you've done, all the support over many years across the many different leagues. Without you, there would be no us. So again, thank each and every one of you. Green flag pit stops really underway now. Drivers right around that 68 lap mark. Christian Abati gonna push the issue in the 45. If we remember, Abati was sitting in that third position, possibly saving a little bit more fuel than the drivers in front. So now extending it at least one. Looking at potentially 3 to 4 laps of staying out here. He's going to have at least a pretty good gap on the fresh tire side of things. And we say he's going to stay out for multiple laps. He's going to bring it to pit road this time around. Christian Abati to pit road. That's going to hand the lead over to Cody Schultz next time around. Schultz into 1 and 2. You can see the 5 machined right there. Looking to come around in that lead a lap here tonight. The 4 of Daniel Jensen just in front of him. Scored 1 lap down, trying to keep himself, or I apologize, listed 2 laps down, trying not to lose a third. The 99 of Nicholas Wing going to make his way by on the bottom and get himself back onto the lead lap. And Schultz, he's going to be able to stretch this thing a little bit further. Just now remembering, being reminded, we should say, a little bug in our ear. Schultz to pit road, lap number 6. So he's got at least 6 laps more fuel to go. That's going to separate himself, I believe, if we're looking at it right now. Wiggins to pit road on lap 43. Almost 30 laps ago. Burlow to pit road on lap 52, almost 20 laps ago. So he's going to have fresh tires, and look at what fresh tires can do. The 29 easily makes his way by. You've seen the 45 go by without a problem. Here comes that 91 of Patrick Coro. All fresh rubber, all fresh Goodyear. And you can see just how easily they get by your race leader. Last time around, 24.95 turned in by Cody Schultz, man running in second for the moment. 22.89, over 2 seconds faster, has been Derek Moore. And short-lived run at the front. Cody Schultz going to bring his machine to pit road. That's going to conclude the green flag pit stops and back out front once again. 16 of Derek Moore regains that top spot. A little bit of different look for second position. 2.5 seconds back is Nick Burlow battling with Clark Janikin for second and third. For the moment, Janikin going to go to the bottom of the racetrack, grab that third position away. The 10 a little loose coming off of the high side. Convo running the high lane. Close quarters racing off of turn number 2, back down the backstretch and into turn number 3, trying to do away with the lap machine is Burlow. And the more he battles right here, the more time he's losing to those top 2. He's got to get by the 10. He's been able to do so this time around. Look for that 88 of Burlow to quickly step away. So just past the halfway point here tonight, what do you say we give you a mid-race report year? Driver highlights and spotlights out front showing the way. The man behind the wheel that has led the most laps here tonight, doing a fantastic job so far. Out front showing the way, the man in the race lead. We don't want to crown him the winner just yet, guys. Let's get that up. There we go. Derek Moore going to lead us around the track here at Richmond Raceway, lap number 78 coming up this time around. Back in second, right where he qualified, the Las Vegas native out of the Peak Performance Motorsports Racing Stable, the 27 of Clark Jenikin going to sit in second. Big move here tonight for the final driver on the podium position so far. Nick Burlow is going to bring that 88 up through the field, up 6 positions from where he qualified tonight, doing justice here at Richmond for that Bass Pro Shop Tracker Off-Road 88 crew. Burlow runs in third. Biggest move of the race so far here tonight. Let's highlight this driver as he's going to lose one more position. Still gaining the most positions throughout tonight's race. Alex Wiggins in that 11. A little bit of fuel strategy and a gamble for the Celsius driver, but Wiggins up 12 positions from where he qualified. We'll see if he can cap off a good night with a solid top 5. He's got one more position to gain. We'll see if he can get there. And that's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights. So let's finish off the mid-race report with a little bit of house cleaning. 19 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We have still got 17 out on the track with only 12 left on your lead lap. The Lieutenant Carlos Ramos going to be listed as the final driver on the lead lap as things begin to heat up for third. Let's go back, take a look at it here, and you can see Michael Overstreet behind the wheel of that PPG Paints machine taking over the third position. Argabright and Burlow now going to go at it for fourth. Freshest tires in the field, right behind him, Cody Schultz. It's a long way to go, but still kind of like the strategy out of that 5. For the moment, sitting in the lucky dog position, but he's got the French tires. Can he make his way up and around the front of this field? That's going to be the big question, but he's got a lot of ground to make up. Riding with Michael Overstreet, sitting in the third position, over 6.8 seconds off of your race leader. That is going to be a mighty task for Wiggins to make up, or not Wiggins, I apologize, for Schultz to make up. And then he's got to pass all these drivers again, right? So, while on one hand staying out, got him a handful of points for leading some laps here tonight. I think it may come back to haunt and bite that number 5 machine. I don't totally disagree with the call, but I do think it's a little questionable. Let's leave it at that. Things going to heat up for the battle for the top spot. Once again, Clark Jenikin get a rail in race leader Derek Moore. Jenikin, fast times lap after lap last time around was almost a full 10th faster than race leader Derek Moore as we go on board with the 27 machine as he tries to track down your race leader. As we take you from on board to high above with the Turn 3 drone cam, we gotta remember I don't want to say the motto or maybe the moniker of a handful of professional drivers that have said this multiple times when it comes to racing at Richmond. Well, you can catch them But what are you going to do when you get there? How do you pass? It's so easy to get a a better center exit and gain the time on a driver in front of you. So easy to pick up the gap, close the gap, to get right there with the next man in line. But it is a whole nother story to try to get by that driver. They can make your day very frustrating if they want to. You can make passes on the high side. You can make passes on the bottom. It's just how tough of a time does the driver you're trying to get by want to make it on you? Is he trying to force you to overheat the tires? Is he trying to force you to overdrive the entry? Is he trying to force you to get on the gas a little bit quicker to try to get the run on the bottom or the high side and get the car a little bit upset by doing it late in corner exit? Passing premium here at Richmond. It's a thought out, methodical move. You're not just going to run up on the driver in front of you and easily decide, I'm going to the inside, and boom, it happens. It's a pass you got to work on the setup. You may have to drop back and make another run at it. Maybe it doesn't work out that first look, lose a little bit of time. Then you got to track them down once again. So again, great racecraft here at the front. Great racecraft as well around that top 10 position. Let's go back here with Josiah Strauss, Andrew Owen, Patrick Coro, Carlos Ramos. All four drivers in a line here. They're going to have company from the front very shortly. Race leaders only about a half a track behind. What do? Right, you're in a race for position right here. But you want to be somewhat courteous to your race leaders and give them that racing line that they need. But you can't just roll over, right? You can't just say, here you go, and open up the door, jump out of the gas. Why? Because your competitors are going to take advantage of that are right behind you. They're trying to keep a position or gain a position, keep themselves on the lead lap. So as this long green flag run continues, a lot of different race scenarios are going to begin to play out. Will the second stop pan out for that 88 of Nick Burlow? Came back to pit road on lap number 95. Burlow's going to be listed 2 laps down here tonight. He's going to have to see this thing go through a second green flag pit cycle or get some late help from a caution. This has got the feeling of a race that is going to more than likely. Whoa, and just as we say that, there it is. Caution on the track. Carlos Ramos going to be turned sideways on the front stretch. The lieutenant with contact with the outside wall. Let's go back. Let's check the replay and see how it all went down for the Abruzzi driver. Yep, just walking up the racetrack a little bit is what it looks like from that vantage point. Do we got the drone cam on this? Can we? Yeah, okay. We're going to go to the drone camera footage. There you can see, just coming out of turn 4, running out of real estate. Just floating up the track a little bit. Whoa, race leaders right behind him too. But again, just right there, corner exit. We're going to take one more look at it if we can. Do we got an up close shot? Let's see if we can get a little closer for that one, guys. Looks like they're going to give us a thumbs up, so let's check this. Yeah, and again, drivers, I mean, right there, just fighting over real estate, arguing over positions on the track, and that's all it takes. Second caution of the night will fly on lap number 98. But what does this do for a driver that's been fast? A little bit of pit strategy may have come back to bite him in the end. As Patrick Curo going to give up the race lead, Derek Moore going to regain that top spot. Nick Burlow not coming to pit road right here. Almost forced to stay out to get one lap down. Man, he's in a tough spot now. Burlow has been at the front, but pulling the trigger on his green flag pit stop. I'm back on lap, I believe it was lap number 95. Yes, it is lap number 95. Burlow went 2 laps down. He's going to get one of those laps back, but still trapped 1 lap down. The pit strategy has come back to bite Burlow. We've seen almost a 100 lap green flag run. Will we see just under a 30 lap green flag run to finish things out here tonight? Or will cautions breed cautions? In short track racing, a lot on the line. We're going to have ourselves about 26 laps to go when we drop the green flag on the restart. Drivers, not a lot of time to get done what they need to get done. And can tonight be the night that somebody keeps that 45 out of victory lane? I'm going to find out, just like you're going to find out here in just a handful of laps. But here we go. Drivers into turns 3 and 4 ready. Nail the loud pedal. Pace car off to the restart zone. We roll on the gas and green flag flies once again from Richmond. Field gonna make their way off of turn number 2, back down the backstretch. Once again, we roll with a 16 out front. Derek Moore able to keep that top spot on the restart. Clark Janikin back in second. Christian Abate moves to third. Michael Overstreet gonna drop to fourth with Doug Argabright, your pole sitter here tonight, recovering well. Took him a while to get here, but he is back inside of the top 5. Argabright gonna run in 5th. Yeah, Jake, we've seen a little bit of your issues going on and plaguing you there. Always hate to see when it's out of a driver's control, and really not a. I don't want to say it's a system error, but nothing wrong with it with the hardware. Hate to see it when things just don't sync up correctly. Can't wait to see you on track next week. We hope to see you back at the front like you normally are and typically turn out to be. Just sometimes luck runs out, and unfortunately, luck ran out here tonight for you, Jake. We appreciate you joining us here on the chat side of things, rooting on a handful of your fellow drivers. We'll see how they get the job done. And for the moment, your drivers, 2 out of the top 3, can't be too upset with that. Well, I guess you can because you're watching, but you get the point. You get the point. Less than 20 to go this time around. Derek Moore continuing to lead Clark Janikin. Janikin has been there, has been heating him up. We've watched this story for the majority of tonight's race, right? We've seen this 16 out front. We've seen the 27 all over his rear deck lid, just unable to really do anything with him. He gets there, he gets that look to the inside, but figuring out that, I call it the high-low lane. I know that sounds pretty ridiculous, but he's not quite in that middle lane. Kind of keeping those left fronts just on the edge of that low lane. Derek Moore's found a way to make the grip work in the line. And make the line fast enough to keep the 27 behind him. It seems like it may be frustrating Janikin a little bit. Again, fastest lap of the race turned in by Clark Janikin, running in second. That happened just about 3 laps ago. So a ton of speed behind the wheel of that 27. Just can't do anything with it. Can't go anywhere. Another good solid look down into turn 1. Just unable to really drive the corner entry the way that he needs to put more in a precarious situation, center off. He's gonna have to settle to just run in line here, and maybe we'll see one of those good old-fashioned bump and runs, right? We haven't really seen a lot of beating and banging, no rubbing to speak of here tonight in the Richmond Roundup for the SMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. So will we see it late? Will we see the chrome horns eventually show up? And here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, it's not all about what goes on at the front. It's about what goes on out on the track. Right, we're going to take some quick looks here. The 41 and the 39 going at it. 4th and 5th on the racetrack. The 99 of Nicholas Wing picking up a position on the 11 of Alex Wiggins. That's going to move Wing into 6th. Lap traffic now at play for race leaders once again. That's the Wounded Warrior of 97 machine of Carlos Ramos. Doing away with Ramos with a fair amount of ease was your top 3, but that's going to close in very briefly as now the 41 right here into the wall once again is Ramos, keeping it out of harm's way. Letting these leaders race this thing on out, short gaps between your top 5. Knocking on the door of just 10 laps to go. When will Janikin, I want to say, attempt the dive bomb? Just because I don't really like that terminology, dive bomb, unless there's been contact and an accident that has stemmed from that dive to the inside. But he's going to have to charge it down into the corner. He's really going to have to drive the corner entry. I think he's going to have to put the 16 in a very uncomfortable situation. Whether it be by getting to that left rear corner just as you're starting to get to that real arc into the corners here. Here at Richmond, you take a little bit wider arc to make the cars comfortable on corner entry. There's the look to the inside. We're running out of time. We're running out of laps. 8 laps remaining this time around. Clark Janikin, he's got to go. If he's going to try to get to victory lane, he's got to go now. Let's talk about the man that has walked away with the first 2 race wins on the season, sitting in 3rd right now. Christian Abate just seems to be a little off pace. He can close in on those top 2 from time to time. You see him reel them in to about maybe a 2/10 deficit. He's just unable to really do anything at that point. Loses a little bit of ground, catches back up, loses the ground again. Abate has just seemed to be a tick off tonight, just missing a little something. And I mean, let's be honest, Richmond, it's a tough short track. And it truly is. It can test your patience, your skills, your confidence. Richmond, just all in all, one of those great racetracks. And if you haven't had the opportunity to go watch a race, I suggest you get here. Don't go to the night race at Richmond, because Denny Hamlin seems to always win that thing. Every time I've been, he's been the race winner, so I haven't been back. Sorry to all the Hamlin fans, just not my guy. Just saying. Just saying. None of that matters, though, because we've got a great show winding down here tonight from Richmond Raceway. You're watching the final 4 laps of the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Gen 4 Cup Series. The Richmond Roundup coming to a close. We're going to have 3 on the tree this time by. Looks like most of the positions throughout this field have been pretty much decided at this point, with popsicle sticks on display. Just 2 laps remaining, less than 2 miles of racing here from Richmond. You can see Janikin really getting on it now. Sideways through 1 and 2. A lot of wiggling going out of the tail end of that machine. You can't say that Janikin isn't giving it all he's got, but the white flag flies. Final lap here tonight in the Richmond Roundup for the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. And Derek Moore, just 2 corners remaining for him to walk away with the checkered flag. And with a loose condition off of 2, Moore will step away, and he will cross the line and pick up his first race win of the season. Checkered flag in hand for the man behind the wheel of that 16 machine. What a run. What a night. A dominating performance, really, if you want to get down to it, from this man right here. Walking away with the race win. One heck of a job behind the wheel here tonight for Derek Moore, as he's going to burn it down. A little bit of a smoke show on the front stretch for your race winner. Walking away with that checkered flag tonight, the 16. So as Derek enjoys his post-race celebrations, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race show. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live from Richmond.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And back live trackside high above Richmond Raceway at the conclusion of tonight's Richmond Roundup for the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series, and we're going to dive right into it. Let's go see if we can't grab a handful of words with the man that walked away with the final spot on the podium here tonight behind the wheel of that 45 machine. Tough to talk to you, not in victory lane, but Christian, how you feeling after another solid finish to the start of this season?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's podium run so far to start off the season. So I mean, other than just ruin the win streak, that's about as good as it can be right now.
Well, I guess that then pretty much sums up the answer for our next question. We're going to still ask it anyway because I don't have anything else written down. So, with a start like this to the season, is it too early to really start eyeballing playoffs? Is it too early to get too comfortable?
No, I mean it's you gotta just take it race by race. It's championship is a long thing to try and win, so it's not like you can do it one day. So it's just focusing on the next race, doing as good as I can, and learning throughout all the races. So hopefully towards the end I can put together everything I learned and try and take it home then.
Well, we're gonna ask you one more thing, and I hope you don't take offense to it here tonight. We were watching you throughout tonight's race, and it just, from what we're used to seeing, especially over the course of these opening two races so far this season, it just seemed like maybe you were just a tick off, just something missing tonight. Was there anything wrong behind the wheel, or what was going on here tonight? I if that makes any sense. I'm not trying to not trying to be mean or nothing. You just didn't seem like the normal fast Christian that we've seen over the first 2 weeks.
No, I think I definitely had the win in it based on the way the race was going when it started out. I was able to go the longest, I think, on the first fuel run there, which was good, because then that was going to get me home pretty safely at the end there, and I wouldn't have to worry about fuel or anything like that. I knew I had a couple laps over Derek and Clark there, and then we were pretty much clear of the field from there. But then for whatever reason, tires didn't get put on as quickly as they should have in the pit lane, so that's where I lost a huge bulk of my time, and then had to use up a lot of tires to try and get back up to, I think it was like fifth at the time. But then that sprint there right at the end, that was not my strategy to win tonight. So just a little bit off tonight, but still glad with the podium.
Well, we meant no type of disrespect whatsoever in asking that question. Just noticing a little things, and we're just a little bit curious. But again, got to be satisfied with yet another podium finish. That's going to be 2 wins and a third place for the first three races this season. So, got to be happy with the way things are unfolding so far. So before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Uh, Dave, you know the usual. Just thank you to you for putting this broadcast on. It's always great to have it. Thank you to the ASMR for putting on the race in the series. It's always good fun. And thanks to the teammates at Red Mist Racing, Derek, Jake, and Andy. It's always good to have them out there and talking stuff and see what's going on to help get the best result.
Well, man, again, congratulations on yet another great finish here. Whatever you're doing, the formula is working out this season, and we expect to catch up with you multiple more times throughout this year. But until next time, we'll just see how you go next week. And as always, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final words for the man behind the wheel of that 45 machine. Doing himself some justice and backing up those 2 race wins to open up the season with a podium finish. Some pit strategy and overusage of the tires relegated that 45 back to 3rd. That's going to move us right along the list. We're going to see if we can't pick up and have a brief little conversation with one of our good friends behind the wheel of that number 27 machine. Clarky, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
A little frustrated because you can't pass, but not too mad.
Well, I mean, here you go. Look at it like this. You got a front bumper, right? I mean, you maybe could have made a pass. Just saying.
You know me. That's not how I race, and it's not like he moved me earlier. He got to the outside, and I just let him go. And I honestly thought with the tire wear, we'd hit a point where we'd be able to move around, or some guys would fall off a cliff. But the dirty air kind of kept me in line there, and I could get underneath him if I wanted. But all he had to do was pinch me down, and there was no way I could carry the momentum on exit. It was a wrap, and then I ran out of fuel coming to that green flag pit stop, being a dummy. And that pretty much sealed it. But I'll take a second, man. I would have liked for him to done something to me last week or earlier in the race and hit me to give me an excuse. But I can't just go out there and take a guy out for a win. That ain't right.
All right. Well, we made some speculation earlier during tonight's race when we were watching a battle between you guys that it seemed to be about a 30-40 lap run there where you guys were literally within about a half a car length. You were side by side, just all over each other. We mentioned that, catching somebody is one thing, getting by them is another. Is it here? Is it Richmond that just kind of lends its hand more to that moniker, or does it have to be the right driver on the track to really make you work more than what you should?
I'm lagging. I hardly heard you there, Dave. But I think your question was, is it a product of Richmond or the car? I think it's a little bit of both. If I'm answering the wrong question, wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't shock me. But this track is there's not a ton of room to move around, and it's so precise. And with these things, you can't even go wide open on the straightaways or you're wrecking. So it's all about exit. And if you can't use all the racetrack and get up to the wall on exit, it costs you so much time, and you got to yank the wheel harder to the left and burn the tires up even more. So that outside lane position was for sure the way to go, and credit to Derek. He played it phenomenal. He got it early when I wasn't paying attention, and he never looked back. So that was a good win for him.
Well, you did answer exactly what we were asking. So I don't know how you pulled that one off, but great job with that as well here tonight. Before we let you go, though, and walk away from the track in second, and it looks like do you want to give any final shout outs before maybe it goes again?
I don't know what's going on, but appreciate you broadcasting, all the guys who make this league happen. Peak Performance Mentality, all the guys at TTB, and Coors Banquet. I'm going to go crush about 14 of those now. So we're looking to have a good night anyway.
All right. Well, man, until next time, stay safe, keep it fast, and we'll meet up with you again later on this season.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, there you go. See, it's not just during races that drivers may have issues. Post-race interview, mics and headsets cutting out, and, well, there you have it. Always a pleasure to catch up with our good friend Clark Janikin behind the wheel of that number 27 Peak Performance Motorsports machine. Walking away in second here tonight, and that's going to lead us directly into victory lane for the man that puts a stop to the race-winning performances by Abati. Let's go have a word with the man in victory lane behind the 16. Derek, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
I feel a lot better than I did last week, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, walking away with the checkered flag should always make you feel better, but well, you know what? We're not even going to discuss last week. We'll water under the bridge. We're going to move on. You got the first victory behind you now. Looking at the schedule, is there any tracks that you maybe have circled or put a little asterisk next to that, you feel that this is going to be the track for you in this particular car?
Gosh, I would have to pull up the schedule. I think next week we're in Atlanta, and that's a pretty fun track with these cars. I feel like I'm pretty good there. but a lot can go down and it's really loose. Gosh, maybe Bristol. I like Bristol quite a bit with these cars. I think that's probably the one I have bookmarked the most. So yeah, and then super speedways, Daytona and Talladega. I'm just gonna try and survive.
I think that's pretty much anybody ever tries to do
Yeah.
at those huge restrictor plate races. But we talked to Clark a little bit about it. We're gonna get your not necessarily side of the story, but opinion on it. How were you able to run so close with Clark, battling for that top spot lap after lap for what seemed to be about 70, 80, maybe 100 laps there? You guys were just all over each other. How hard was it to keep him behind him, or how easy or comfortable was it?
Mm, It got easier, I think, as the race went on because I understood the dynamics of the situation. Early on, I was just kind of out front and then trying to make his life hard when he was getting inside of me. And then I discovered, oh, he can't pass me if I lock myself down to his door in the middle of the corner. So then, yeah, well, it was going to be a bit of a fuel game after the first pit stop, and I guess he ran out coming to the pits, and so he was quite a ways behind me. So I was just hitting some numbers. But that last, I don't know, was that 25, 30 lap stanza of the race on the restart was definitely a bit more difficult because we were running quite a bit harder. And I was just trying to hit my marks and driving out of my mirror a little bit, making sure he's not poking his nose in too deep or something. But yeah, no, that definitely wasn't easy. These cars on this track are quite the handful. And especially as the run goes on, you're not hitting full throttle very often. It's very much a delicate balance of the throttle and the brake.
Well, you were able to walk that tightrope, that fine line on the balance here at Richmond for tonight's race. Walking away with your first win of the season. We expect to see you back in victory lane and back on the podium again. So before we let you go and celebrate with all the champagne spraying here in victory lane, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Oh, I'll shout out and thank the team, Red Mist Racing, Christian, Jake, Andy. I think we've won every race this season so far, so that's good. And then they've got, there's a podcast, Red Mist Podcast. Listen to that. It comes out every Tuesday. Just kidding, Wednesday. It's recorded on Tuesdays. And then, I'll thank my dad. Doing some dirt oval go-kart racing this summer and put a lot of effort into that, and we're doing pretty good. Won quite a few races, so just thank all of them, and just happy to get this Arts and Mary's homestyle jalapeno tater chips Ford Taurus into victory lane for the first time this season.
Easy for you to say. No, just joking. Say those chips again for me again.
Arts and Mary's.
Arts and Mary's.
Yeah, they're made
Jalapeno
just
home style.
Yep.
That is
tater chips.
Man, where can I get me some? They got a website?
They have a website. I think it's a Midwest thing. They're manufactured just like 20 miles away from where I'm at. Probably more of a local thing, but I'm sure you could order some if you wanted to.
Midwest local thing. Man, you got to get them things down here in the South. You haven't heard about us down here. We love our spiciness, man. The Carolina Reaper. I mean, come on, dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm familiar.
Come on. You got to get them down here because I'm telling you, I'll eat the. Never mind. We're going to leave it alone. Derek, congratulations on making your way to victory lane here tonight at a tough short track. Richmond, dominating performance, most laps led, but most importantly, walking away with that checkered flag. As always, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you go. Final few words from Derek Moore. Cutting up a little bit here in the post-race interviews, but seriously, I need me some of them chips. At least like 20 bags. Just saying. Hook me up. No, I'm just kidding, just jokes, but seriously, I want some. Heck of a run here tonight for Derek Moore, walking away with that first win, keeping Christian Abasi out of victory lane, and that's going to do a lot for the morale of not just Moore, but for a lot of the drivers out of the field. Seeing somebody else get to victory lane gives you a little bit of hope. a little bit of promise that you can do it as well. Tonight, Derek Moore going to be the Titan on the track. Walk away with the most laps led in the checkered flag. One heck of a job behind the wheel of that 16 machine. Derek Moore is your race winner. What a night here from Richmond in the Richmond Roundup, brought to you by the ASMR Hauck Designs Cup Series. As producers hit those buttons in the background, you know the familiar sounds. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away, checkered flag in hand, enjoying his time down in victory lane, the driver of the 16, Derek Moore. Lauren Janikin going to come home in second, with Christian Aponte rounding out your top three. Michael Overstreet back in fourth, the 41 of Doug Argerbright. Your Pulsar going to fall back and finish in fifth. Sliding home in sixth tonight, the 99 of Nicholas Wing, with Alex Wiggins in the 11. Right behind him in seventh. Eighth place tonight belongs to Josiah Strauss. The 29 of Andrew Walt will come home ninth. Final spot inside of the top 10, behind the wheel of the number 5 machine, leading a handful of laps tonight from Richmond, is Cody Schultz. Patrick Coro, the Pizza Hut 91 machine, finishes the 11th. 12th place tonight belongs to the Bass Pro Shop Tracker Off-Road 88 machine of Nick Burlow. Zach Miller back in 13th, followed by Daniel Jensen. Tough run tonight for the man behind the 7 machine. The Best Buy, number 7 of Ed Hauck, finishes in 15th. Carlos Ramos walks away from Richmond in 16th. 17th tonight to the 10 of Andrew McConville. Jake Innes back in 18th. And 19th tonight, finishing out the field behind the wheel of the 89 machine. Jeffrey Engel, trouble getting out on the track. Looks like engine troubles plagued him. Leaky oil line relegated him back behind pit wall before he could get going tonight. Tough break for Engel. Well, that's going to do it for your race results. That's going to do it for us. So as we begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love. Drop them the thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash that bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back to Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many sponsors across the different leagues and series that we cover. Without you, there would be no us. We thank and appreciate that push that got us to the 3,000 mark. Let's push it to 4 this year. Let's see if we can get the job done. I know we can with all of your help. So with everything being said, what a race behind us tonight. Derek Moore with a checkered flag. And on that note, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.